Dublin, April 1912. In the early 20th century, Dublin remained a hugely important political, commercial and cultural city. It was nonetheless a city notable for the underlying tension and restlessness so typical of places profoundly divided by wealth, class and religion. In Harland and Wolff's Belfast, two new sister ships stood side by side, the Olympic and Titanic. The latter ship, however, would alter the lives of so many for generations to come, including the lives of Dubliners William Kelly, Joseph Dawson and stewardess Violet Jessop, who were all employees aboard the ill-fated RMS Titanic. William Kelly grew up at One Cloud Road in Drumcondra. He was a newly qualified electrician, having completed his 3-year apprenticeship with the Dublin electrical engineering firm of T.E. Bronker Limited. As a result, he managed to obtain a position on the so-called unsinkable ship. The Kelly family were devout Catholics, but they were nonetheless a model of middle-class propriety, with the father earning enough money as a merchant tailor to send his sons to be educated at the local Christian Brothers. As such, William was encouraged to devote some of his time to the church, where he was a choir member at St. Saviour's, which was located close by off Dorset Street. This was his first ever time away at sea. Joseph Dawson lived approximately 2.5 miles away from William Kelly. Whilst both were Northsiders, Roman Catholic and obtained situations working on board the Titanic, their backgrounds couldn't be more different. Dawson had left Dublin for England after his mother died. Whilst there, he joined the Royal Army Medical Corps. He left the army in 1911 and married the sister of John Priest, whom at the time was a fireman with the White Star shipping line. It was John who introduced Dawson to life at sea. Violet Jessop was a stewardess on board the Titanic. In the class-ridden society of 1912, she was striking and stood out from a crowd. Her beauty was said to be beguiling. Her father had left Dublin for the Argentine in the mid-1880s, where he started up a sheep farm. However, after he died, Violet's mother felt compelled to return with the family to London. Violet's unique claim to fame was that she was on board all 3 White Star Olympic-class liners when each one came to grief. On the night of the Titanic disaster, Violet was asleep during impact, but was awoken by all the commotion. However, like every other crew member, she got dressed in her uniform and helped with the evacuation. William Kelly was a most important figure. It was part of Kelly's job to remain below to keep the electricity going, not just for the electric lights, but more importantly for the Marconi system, a system which Jack Phillips and Harold Bride frantically used, sending out the now infamous SOS messages. How many more lives were saved as a result of the bravery of men like William Kelly, who died at just 22? Joseph Dawson's body was recovered with identification by one of the search ships. He is buried in Fairview Cemetery, Nova Scotia. He was also but 22. Violet Jessop continued working on ships, both as a stewardess and later as a nurse during the Great War. Despite her exotic upbringing, she never lost her Irish accent. Titanic sank on April 15, 1912, with a loss of over 1,500 lives. Now lying 2.5 miles at the bottom of the North Atlantic, 100 years on, she still has a remarkable capacity to call to us from beyond the grave. But what is her future? Has she any stories left? Only time will tell.